What's going on, my Essential Gunners? It's Essential here, so back again with another ECW Supercar Show review. It's been a long time since I review a non-WWE show. The last non-WWE show I reviewed on this channel was the first Heatwave show in the original ECW history from the year of 1994. This was during the summertime of this year. I think it was around July or August time. I'm not too sure. Man, I need to get back on track reviewing some non-WWE shows, some ECW shows, WCW/NWA shows, TNA/Impact Wrestling shows, anyway. So I'm going to review ECW Hardcore Heaven 1994, the first Hardcore Heaven show in the original ECW history at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 13th of August 1994, the attendance of the show was 1,000. By the way, not a pay-per-view, this is a super show, and Joey Styles on commentary. Like I said, this is the first Hardcore Heaven show in the original ECW history. They'll continue to do these shows until the end of the original ECW existence. The last Hardcore Heaven show they ever produced was in the year 2000, so they did, what, 3 super shows? 94, 95, and 96. And 4 on pay-per-view. That's 97, 98, 99, and 2000. Anyway, so the first match to kick off Hardcore Heaven 1994, we got Hack Myers taking on the Rockin' Rebel. This is just mediocre. It wasn't like a cringe, botchy match. It's just like filler, mediocre as best. In the end, I think the Rockin' Rebel, he's about to hit Hack Myers some kind of like back suplex or something, but Hack Myers fell onto the Rockin' Rebel for the win. It was kind of like a lame finish of a crappy opener. I have to describe it. It's just blah. Mediocre. So the next match, we got Iron Man Tommy Cairo taking on Chad Austin. This was similar to the opener, but that's not saying too much. It was okay for what it is. It was an okay It was an okay match. But that's, yeah, like I said, not saying too much. It's not going to be like an instant classic. You know, it was whatever. In the end, Chad Austin got the victory over Iron Man Tommy Cairo. I think he rolled up Cairo with a cradle, using his foot on the rope for leverage to get the victory. So Chad Austin won match number 2 over Tommy Cairo. So the next match, this is way better. And this is the first of 2 championship matches on this super show. This is for the ECW Television Championship. We got Mikey Whipwreck, the future ECW champion, putting his belt on the line against Jason. That's Jason Knight, the sexiest man alive. This was a good match. This is not going to be like a 4-star classic. He had that like a screwy finish. I'll get to that shortly. But this is a no. I think Joey Styles said this is a no disqualification match. Anything goes, but this was good. They didn't like went overboard of a hardcore brawl. There's one more of the match. I think it was Jason or Whipwreck. I think it was Jason. Kind of hit a leg drop onto Whipwreck through a table. Here comes the screwy finish. You know, it's started to be like a good match. You know, I was almost giving like a proper 3-star rating. Anyway, so the ending was screwy. Whipwreck, he was going to hit Jason with the chair. That's Jason Knight, by the way. But I think Jason got out of the way. He accidentally hit the referee. Whipwreck managed to hit Jason with the chair over the head. This is 1994, not today's WWE product. You cannot hit someone in the head with a chair. Maybe in AEW, in Impact Wrestling, you know, no ROH because it's on AEW television, but it's not really a company anymore. I know it's bought by Tony Khan. Anyway, so, Whipwreck hit Jason on the head with the chair. And then the referee, you know, he pins Jason. The referee did a 3 count. You thought Whipwreck retained the television championship. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Out come the Pitbulls, because at the time the Pitbulls were working with Jason. The Pitbulls are Gary Wolf and Anthony Durant. They beat down Mikey Whipwreck. Basically give him Tonsil Knight, ring post-itis, basically grabbed his legs and rammed him into the balls onto the ring post, you know, typical spot, you know, not just like hits, whacking, throw, you gotta like whacking, your opponent's leg onto that ring post, set up the figure four leg lock on the ring post. No, he kind of rammed Rick Rex balls, giving ring post itis, and he like placed Jason on top of Rick Rex to win this match and become the new television championship. Yeah, it was a screwy finish, but it was still good. And then afterwards, you know, the Pitbull's beating down Mikey Riddick. Jason was bleeding. Out comes the Tasmaniac, aka Taz, and Superfly Jimmy Snuka. This is a improv 2 match. This is a tag team match, by the way. The Pitbulls, Anthony Durant and Gary Wolf taking on Taz and Superfly Jimmy Snuka. It lasts about seconds. For the best, because Jimmy Snuka in 1994 had no business in the ring. He's way past his prime. Fun fact, you know, people say Shane Douglas is the first ECW champion. Wrong, it was Jimmy Snuka. This was in the year of 1992. This is like 2 years before ECW could become Extreme. It was, well, I think at the time it was called Eastern Championship Wrestling. Anyway, in the end, Snuka, by the way, Snuka is the father of Tamina, current WWE wrestler. Anyway, Snuka hit the superstar splash onto one of the Pitbulls. Taz pinned the other Pitbull for the win. It was short and simple. And let's move on to the next match. So the next match, man, this is shit. That's match number 5. By the way, there's 9 matches on the card. Match number 5, we got 911 with Paulie Dangerously, aka Paul Heyman, in his corner, taking on Mr. Hughes with at the time the ECW World Champion, the franchise Shane Douglas, and Angel. Don't know who she is. Anyway, before that you had Douglas putting over Mr. Hughes like he's the true giant of ECW. Anyway, the match sucked. It was punch, 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 kick. Actually, no kicks. It's just punch, punch, punch. It was boring. It was crap. It's just what it is. In the end, 911 chokeslam Mr. Hughes for the win. I think Mr. Hughes is known for as a manager, not just in ECW, but in WCW and the WWF. Anyway, so afterwards, 911. First off, Shane Douglas cheap shot 911. He legged it, and yeah, and you know, and Angel took the bullet. He didn't actually got shot, but you know, yeah, she got chokeslammed by 911. She was wearing like a neck brace. Yeah, she got chokeslammed by 911. Then Heyman grabbed the mic. He called out Shane Douglas. Said like, take your fishy wife out of the ring. I thought like Heyman called, you know, Angel a bitch, but Joey Styles has these reference of Disney Channel. This is not something you see on Disney Channel, because ECW was edgy, because it was edgy. It was like, I think ECW was getting with the times at this moment in time, because WCW and the WWF was going to still living in the past. You know, great example in the WWF, still living in the past. I think it's the 80s again. But I'm glad they moved on in the rest of the 90s, became edgy anyway. So let's move on to match number 6. Match number 6. This is a Singapore Cane match. Holy fuck! We got Sandman with Woman. That's Nancy Sullivan, aka Nancy Benoit. Reason why I say Sullivan because Sullivan, you know, because Nancy was married to Kevin Sullivan, who's, well, I think at this moment in time, just came back to WCW. And then, you know, years later in the year 2000, Nancy married Chris Benoit. It's like a bit of a trivia fact. So anyway, so they take it on Tommy Dreamer wearing spandex. This is before he ended up becoming the I think this is the start of Dreamer's character change. Became the Elevator of Violence. That's his trademark character in ECW, and it carried on in his run in WWE and Impact Wrestling and in the Indies. This is shit. It's just crap. It's just basically you had Dreamer attack the referee, attack Sandman multiple times with the Singapore cane, or just not a walking cane what old men or old people use, just a Singapore cane. Attack the referee, attack Sandman. He didn't attack Woman. Dreamer kiss Woman. That was cool. And then the ring announcer informed that Dreamer got disqualified. So Rima got pissed off and they attacked the ring announcer instead. And afterwards, woman revived the Sandman, basically basically light up a cigarette and put the cigarette in the mouth of the Sandman to revive him. It was kind of funny. It was a funny spot, but some people find it dumb. I find it funny. You know, he revived instead of beer, he just revived him with cigarette. Holy crap! But it was kind of fun for what it is. So, of this crap match, you know, it wasn't really a match. I think this is more of an angle. This is setting up a I Quit match. I think it was on. It was not. I don't think it was at the next Super Show. I think this was on an episode of Hardcore TV. They fought in an I Quit match. I think during that match, Dreamer kind of blinded the Sandman in his eye with a cigarette. You're not gonna see. You probably see it in some indie shows, but you're not gonna see it in today's mainstream professional wrestling, like in AEW or in WWE. You're not gonna see that ever again. That spot, you know, someone get blind with a cigarette. That's match number 6. Match number 7. Oh boy. This is a baseball brawl match, and this is for the ECW Tag Team Championships. We got the Public Enemy, Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge defending the titles against the Bad Breeds, it's called. That is Ian and Axel Rotten. Fucking terrible. Fuck finish. Actually, not really a fuck finish. It's just boring. It was more shtick. The start of this match, it was shtick. It was more of a segment than the actual match. So basically, the Public Enemy got pissed off. They beat up the guy wearing the straw hat, and then ripped the straw hat. Then, I think it was Rocco Rock or Johnny Grunge. I think it was Rocco Rock. Grab the mic. He told the fans to, if you call me Jailbird, because the fans were chanting at Jailbird towards the members of Public Enemy. So Rocco Rock, I think, call promo, tell the fans, if you call me Jailbird one more time, I'm not going to wrestle. So they end up leaving, and then the Rottens, basically one of the Rotten brothers, saying like, call them girls, get your asses back in the ring. And then I think Johnny Grunge grabbed the mic, says, yo, call him a rotten motherfucker, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And the match begins. Fucking terrible. I don't want to get into it. It was boring. Yeah, you had some wrestling, but it was fucking boring. Yeah, the brawl, it was boring. I think like the Public Enemy was bleeding. You know, they appeared later on in the main event. We'll get to that later on. But anyway, so they were fighting in the crowd, fighting the Eagle's Nest. Trying to keep it short and simple. In the end, the Public Enemy hit the drive-by onto one of the Rotten brothers to win this match and retain the ECW Tag Team Championships. So moving on to the next match, that's match number, what is this, 5, 6? Yeah, match number 8, yeah. Match number 8, this is a good opposite. And this is technically the match of the night. So the match of the night, the next match we got Sabu with 911 and Paulie Dangerously in his corner, taking on Too Cool Scorpio, the future Flash Funk in the WWF. And this, like I said, match of the night. This is a polar opposite, or reverse opposite, I'm trying to say. This is a really good match, you know, because the last match, Public Enemy versus Bad Breeds, it was 20 minutes long, it was boring. This, it was a bit boring, but it was really fast-paced stuff, man. Really like it. You know, I think both guys, you know, Sabu and Too Cool Scorpio went through tables. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. One of them did like a Tombstone Power Drive attempt. You know, he's not like hitting the Undertaker's Tombstone Power Driver. It's like ass first. You know, they did it way better than Owen Hart, what he did to Stone Cold Steve Austin at SummerSlam 1997. Because I think the difference is because I think they're both the same height. You know, I think Too Cool Scorpio is the same height as Sabu. I think they're around 5'10", 6 feet tall. When Owen did it, that spot 3 years later at SummerSlam 1997, because I think Owen was 5'10", and Austin was 6'2", and he couldn't like get the weight of Austin. He's like 6'2", 250, and he couldn't get the technique right, and he dropped on his head. And that's another story for another time. Go watch my review of SummerSlam 97 for more information. So. Anyway, so, Sabu managed to hit, I think it was Sabu hit that Tombstone Power Driver, you know, ass first, but Scorpio kicked out. In the end, the 911 distracted the referee. Heyman helped Sabu. Sabu hit the Arabian Face Buster onto Two Scorpio to win this match. Two Scorpio, wow. Just wow, man. He's just very underrated. One of the most underrated wrestlers in professional wrestling history. He never truly got over in the two major companies at the time. That's WCW and the WWF. In WCW, I think he was there for a cup of coffee. But in WWF / Funk, he was more of an enhancement talent. You know, he's a good worker, but they make him as this pimp gimmick. And it didn't really get him over, man. It's just really a shame that he never got over in those two major wrestling companies. Because he's a really good worker. Don't know about his mic work, but in the ring, he was really good. Very underrated, man. So, moving on to the main event. The main event, this is one of the most memorable main events in the history of the original ECW. Sorry, I'm speaking too fast, by the way. We got Terry Funk taking on Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley, the future Dude Love, and the future Mankind. Mick Foley, this is one of Mick Foley's, I think it's his first matches in his only run in ECW. He was doing the whole anti-ECW thing. He ended up doing it a decade later when ECW was revived as a third brand. You know, sucking up to WWE. When he in ECW, the original ECW, was sucking up to WCW because he got released in WCW. Anyway, so he said to Terry Funk that enough with the violence. He wants a scientific match. Basically, referring to a in-ring master, instant match. Basically techno style classic. I'm trying to say, without any hardcore. So, and the whole scientific way of this match, it's non-existent. It's thrown out. They end up brawling into the crowd. And then you got the Public Enemy. Beating down Terry Funk because at the last they fought at the last ECW Super Show. That was Heatwave. They fought in that barbed wire tag team match. They end up beating down Terry Funk, and then Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, refused. He doesn't want the help by the Public Enemy, so the Public Enemy beating down. First they force Foley to pin Terry Funk, but they end up beating down Cactus Jack. I'm referring to Mick Foley, by the way. So Funk and Cactus Jack decide to beat brawl with the Public Enemy, and you can tell, and also they beat down the referee. So this match was kind of like a non-contest, and they're fighting in the crowd. And here's the je ne sais quoi of this match. This is legendary. Terry Funk asked for the chairs, and the fans in the ECW arena in Philly will start throwing chairs in the ring. Holy fuck, this is stupid. And you got Joey Styles come out of his commentary booth at the Eagles Nest saying, please stop throwing the chairs in the ring. And then he said it 2 or 3 more times, stop the chairs, stop throwing the chairs in the ring. It's dangerous. I get their chairs. They're not like they're throwing knives or shit, but they got buried in the pile of chairs. That could be dangerous. WWE always glorified this moment. Every time they did a video, it's ECW related. They show this footage of fans throwing chairs in the ring. How is it that glorified and cool? It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. When Funk asked the fans for the chairs, they start throwing chairs in the ring. It's stupid. I watched a footage of TNA. This is not a televised event. This is a house show, and fans start throwing chairs in the 6-sided ring. Is it cool? No, it's stupid and dumb. I don't want to get into it. So, it's absolute bonkers. I get it's a crazy moment. I understand it's crazy, but it's not my cup of tea, man. I know it's sensitive because when I watched this show, this is 2022. This is almost 30 years later, and I understand the old school fan will praise this. For me, I think it's not my cup of tea. It's stupid. It's not the ECW didn't ruin this. It's not Terry Funk's fault. It's not Heyman's fault. It's not Mick Foley's fault. It's the fans' fault. I get it, they want to be part of it. This angle. It's make them cool and hit, but you just ruin it. It's already ruined. And afterwards, the members of Public Enemy, Rocco Rock, and Johnny Grunge. It came from the pals of Chaz. They look pissed, man. They look pissed off. They grabbed the mic. I thought they were going to bury the fans in the ECW arena in Philly, but instead they kind of says, this is not over. We're the sheriffs or some shit like that. And that was it. That was the end of the show. So the main event sucked, and the fans throwing the chairs in the ring did not help this, you know. And also, where are the security? Where are the security guards to, like, help? You know, they should have done more better, you know, hired more security guards to stop this thing happen. But, I don't want to get into it. So, anyway, so my final reign of the first Hardcore Heaven in the original ECW history, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Or actually, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. You know, the two matches, you know, it's technically a one-match show. The match kind of stole the show was Sabu versus Too Cold Scorpio. The TV title match was fun, you know, most of it, you know, instead of the whole bullshit finish with the pit bulls, and I don't want to get into it, but, oh man, it starts out crap and ends with crap with the, fans throwing the chairs in the ring. It's stupid, it didn't really serve a purpose, it's just fuck finish. Great example, the Sandman versus, Tommy Dreamer match. It's just like, wow, and, you know, Public Enemy versus, the Rottens was not so good. It was boring, you know. And also they were drenched in blood, their own blood. You know, they're wearing red and white shirts. You know, I think most of them it's covered in blood. Holy shit! But besides that, man, it's just like I like ECW, but like some of these shits they do, it's go overboard. So it's just what it is. It's a thumbs down show for me. So. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of ECW Hardcore Heaven 1994. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash the like button, click the like, click the bell. Watch my previous ECW Super Show reviews I did in the past. I forgot to mention this, you know, when I review ECW Hostile City Showdown from 1994. That was early this year in March. I thought it was like September, October time of last year, but no, it was March of this year. I forgot to mention it, so... Anyway, and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time, let's review, ECW November to Remember 1994. So, this is the Central Man officially signing out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.